Has anyone done it like this? Does anyone have a process or SOP or something that actually has not just the steps of the thing, but also a video of some sort included? Rob, you do?
Yeah, we integrate with Keep. So I use, and with Keep, it makes it automated. So all of our company individuals have an email once they get hired. Otherwise, I use their personal email. And before they even get hired with us, they're getting training videos already. So that if it's a provider, on how to use our documentation system, how we communicate with the patient, how we, just the flow. We show them what to expect day one, where to park, how to go through the back door, where to put your stuff. So myself, what you're talking about, trying to buy back your time, I found that every time I hired somebody, it was like I had to put my life on hold for 3 weeks to nurture them through it. And by doing it once, I was able to screen record all of our documentation stuff. I was able to, ahead of time, send them all of our policy and procedures through email, electronically.
Yeah.
And
are you housing them in Keep? I use Keep for my company. Do you house the videos in Keep, or do you use Keep?
No, I use YouTube. So I just YouTube. I leave them non-private and just take some of them I can embed, but I usually don't. I just take it to where they click on it. It pulls them over to YouTube and it shows them how to do it. But it's at least through Keep, I can create a stepwise progression, that this video to this video to this. So I have 3 different videos that they do on how to document. First one's just on functionality of the system. 2 might be on how we actually bill, and here are your key things. So, and then you can attach documents to it and stuff like that too. So for me, that has worked for us, because every time we hire somebody, they get the same level of training. And usually the first 2 weeks, they're just trying to get integrated to, staff and processes. And if I can grab somebody while they're in their 2-week notice somewhere else,
yes,
and they can start watching my videos, they can learn how we communicate. One, it's an impression thing where they go, wow, they actually have their stuff together and they're sending me stuff ahead of time. And then 2, they walk in day 1 already knowing what to expect. My level of preeminence has increased in their eyes, because they're like, wow, they actually have their stuff together. I'm in the right place. I made the right choice by working here. And it just creates a successful integration.
No, what you said is spot on. I think that's the greatest thing. Do not wait for people to walk in the door. Start sending them things that they can review on their own time, so they can walk in and be much closer to actually doing the job, especially therapists, because we need them billing. We need them covering as fast as possible our investment in them. So what a really smart idea. Keep is interesting. It's Keep's like Constant Contact and MailChimp and such. So you're almost creating a campaign called New Employee Campaign that then sequences very specific emails, puts their name on that kind of stuff. Like when you receive something from me, not personal like this, but if you receive like a regular email from me, it'll be personalized, but then the links could be automatically to the links in the YouTube or Vimeo, wherever you house them. Really cool. Is it housed somewhere to make it easily searchable as well?
On mine?
Yeah.
Are you talking about on how I get the information to them?
Yeah. So if you're sending me an email, I'm a new person, and there's a link there. If the email then gets read and it gets through millions of other emails, is there any type of checklist or anything that you give me to download, or any place to go to, like the Google folder that has everything that you mentioned?
Mm-hmm. So there's 2 parts. I have off of Keep, we have a written out kind of SOP that's on our onboarding for providers or new hires that say they need to go through this to this to this to this. So the first part is sending them that, and if they don't open those emails at all, Keep will tell me that. So I actually have a 3-stage progression where it sends them one, and then if they don't open it, it sends them another saying, hey, did you see this? I'm trying to get a hold of you. If they don't open that one, the 3rd one sends me a task that says they didn't open their emails. So then I will then see that, and I'll call them and say, hey, did you get the emails I sent you? And sometimes they'll go, no. And I'm like, check your spam folder. They'll pull me out of there. Other times they'll go, yeah, I've just been really busy and I haven't had a chance to do them. And then I can level up again and say, hey, these are really for you to bring you in and have to be most successful. So I just raise the level of expectation that says, gosh, this is really benefiting you if you go ahead and do this, because you're going to come in with the ground running. So, and then it usually happens. So there's a couple of checks in place there to make sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, we could dive into, hiring and onboarding and training people. That's a whole nother intensive. Yeah, I really love what you're saying there. Really cool. But just for everyone else, I think the basic thing all of you should 100% have is a simple Google folder, and then the folder can be separated into whatever areas that you would be doing. It could be, front desk, answering the phones. It could be therapy. It could be general onboarding, like the stuff that everyone has to do. Let's say you're training an office manager, how you do the email pointer, how you set someone up on Gmail, how you order the name tag, how you order supplies. I mean, just anything that you're doing, you're really creating the SOP of how to do it. So everything we do has a video associated and has steps associated at a bare minimum. So, I mean, that's my strong recommendation. And you'll see, if you haven't done this before, you will see how quickly someone actually gets up and going in that activity, how quickly they start to understand it and learn it. It's really, really powerful and yet simple. And sometimes that's hard to allow yourself to, like, God, this is just too easy. Nothing's ever this easy. It needs to be more difficult. And then we complicate the darn thing instead of just, sending a video and say, hey, I just created this video and this task. I'd love for you to take a look at it, get your thoughts on it. Hey, you know what? Could you help me create some high-level steps? Just write them up and let me know when you've done that. I can take a look at it, and then we can really have this whole thing set and done, and you can start taking this over, something like that. Any other questions? Did anyone else raise their hand about doing videos in offboarding things and training?
So Kristen mentioned too about not wanting to be on video. For me personally, I'm not a big social media guy. I didn't have Facebook until just, I think, last year. I'm not big on all of that stuff, but the game completely changed for me when it came down to realizing, by just doing YouTube and creating videos, and I can send that to my patients ahead of time, or by putting things out on our company Facebook or other, it just raises the level of people who know me before they ever walk through the door. So if you just look at everything that we're doing is really sales. I mean, we still have to sell people on that we're the right clinic for them, that the plan of care will actually work for them, that they need to come to all their appointments, and this is why. For them to already know who I was, watch my videos, maybe read my newspaper article or other, it raised the game to where now they're actually coming in going, I hope he takes me as a client. And so now my authority went through the roof. So, which then once I saw that, it was like, okay, well, I need to jump more into Instagram. I have to get a Facebook page, not for me personally.
No, it's a great point. What I try to do is get people to think about other people. All of us are self-centered. All of us are selfish. All of us, it's all about us. And when you start to get yourself out of yourself and focusing on other people, yes, it's uncomfortable, but we own a business. We're the leader, and the leader needs to be seen, and the leader needs to be heard. And what you're doing, Rob, is you're like, look, yes, it's uncomfortable me being on video, but if that's what I have to do to help someone else, whether in your case it's a patient or onboarding an employee, then which do you rather want? All the benefits from offboarding all of these things and having a team that feels like cared for as far as you're actually helping them become successful, or would you rather just stay in doing it and keeping the story around, but I don't like myself on video? I mean, and that goes to a lot of other things as well. When you start looking at others, I am here to serve others. So whatever issue I have to get over, I know the reward for me getting over that is abundance over here. That's the reward. That's what we get. And there's a lot of others that choose not to, which is fine. You can stay small. You can stay in your box. But we're all business owners here. We're all leaders. We're all entrepreneurs. So the greater you can grow yourself, man, there's anything you want out there. So but I want to get any other questions or thoughts or comments around creating a high-level checklist. Allison, what would be a task for you? And just off the top of your head, what would be some high-level steps to do that task?
Hi there. So I was wrapping my head around that. So currently I already have other people that are doing like the onboarding and the trainings and things like that. But I thought perhaps I could help them to be more efficient and to start making the training videos. What do you think about that?
So you already have a SOP for onboarding and hiring?
I do.
Okay, is it working?
I think so. Part of my insecurities for my position with my company is that I'm so far removed that I really don't know much about the ins and the outs.
Okay. Are you bringing on good people in your company?
Yeah, we have a pretty good team. It wasn't always this way, but we're in a really good place now.
Okay. So for the future, what I would do is I would have whoever's in charge of doing those things, why don't you have them record it?
That's what I'm thinking too. It will also save on payroll costs, right? They are hourly employees and perhaps they can do other things versus always repeating themselves.
Well, the one part I'll get to at the end here is ultimately, no one says we have to create all of these SOPs and systems, right? We have talented staff that actually know how to do things. What we're looking at from an owner's perspective is we're looking at capturing how to do something and making it easier for someone to learn how to do it. So there's lots of SOPs, there's tons of SOPs. The more people know how to actually do the process. So here's what I want you to do. Like, let's say you have some good staff doing some good things. They can create the video. They can create the high-level steps. They can upload it into the proper place. And of course, then you can go in and just review it and make sure it makes sense and provide any feedback. Once it's done, it's done. So in your case, if something is working, I would still capture it because your people may not stay with you forever. That means when someone else comes on board, we're going to make it easier for them to come on board. But my question to you is, what is on your plate right now that's a low energy activity?
My email.
Okay. So, which is interesting. That's something that I'm seeing more and more. If you were going to train someone, and I think you and I talked about this the other day, if you were going to train someone, just basic stuff, how to look at your emails, how to go through your inbox, how to categorize, and whatever it is that you do, what would be the high-level steps? You don't have to be perfect on this, just getting comfortable with the steps. What would be step number one?
With the
I have
email?
access to your email, now what?
I think so. My email account is just a big mess. It has like a couple 100,000 emails in it. It's very disorganized, a lot of junk. I even downloaded like those apps to like clear out all the junk. It's called Chuck. It didn't work. So I think the first thing is to just have someone weave through all my inboxes and put all of the emails that I actually need to look at into a folder. But my problem is I interviewed someone from overseas because I feel like, it would be really expensive to pay someone like $25 an hour to do something like that. So I was going to have someone from overseas do it, but my COO is afraid that they can run off with confidential, information. So I'm torn because I don't want to pay someone $25 an hour. And in doing my assessment, I'm more like, depending on how many hours a week I work, between 75 and 140 an hour, and that's based off of 10 hours a week. My emails, I think it's just that 1 hour that I spend, I don't know, a week, maybe 2 hours a week.
So you're trying to go through all of your emails and kind of get a flat line, like a baseline, or are you just trying to be like moving forward, someone comes in and just starts cleaning up all the spam?
I think moving forward, yeah. I consider closing down the email, but I just can't do that. It's Allison at in my company domain. I just can't close it down. So it'd be nice to have someone go in there and get me all my important emails.
So before we look at whether you should or whether you shouldn't, what would be, because I want to drive home this point of the checklist, what would be the high level steps for actually doing this, no matter who does it? What would
identifying
be
all the emails that need to be responded to or that need to be forwarded to the right person.
Okay, so step one would be go through my inbox, what, twice a day? Step two, what would be a way to do this? One thing you may want to do is actually create folders. You know, on the left-hand side of Google, you have your folders. Create folders for like similar types of emails. Like depending on what the email is, it could be a folder of emails that need to be responded to. It could be folders of just kind of information emails. It could be folders of maybe people you're following. Moi, you're following moi, I send a few emails. I could just be in a folder, people you're following. Like I have a folder that there's people that I follow. I don't want them cluttering my inbox. They automatically get filtered into the folder. And then when I feel like it, I go into the folder and take a look at them. So you can actually have a step, you know, category, and we could get more specific in what they would be, but it could be categorize emails into the appropriate folder.